Okay, so this is the third video for today. And again, it's regarding Brock, like the second one did. Excuse me, I'm still getting over a cold here. This one has to do with what he says, 9 out of 10 atheists believe in the existence of extraterrestrial life. Well, he says aliens. Obviously, I think he's inferring intelligent or aliens. But, the question is, do 9 out of 10 atheists believe in a faith way? In other words, they have faith that extraterrestrial or life exists, or do they believe it in a hypothetical way, you know, basically saying, well, the probability looks high, and it looks high enough that, yeah, I can believe it. It's for saying, like, you know, there's extrasolar planets out there. We know this as a fact. They have moons. We're not certain about that as a fact, but the probability is extraordinarily high. Hence, you know, I can say that, yeah, they would have moons around them, because we see them in our solar system. Actually, to be honest, I think we did find one with a moon, but that is irrelevant in the example here. They have atmospheres. We've detected those. They have oxygen, carbon, and methane, and water, and all that stuff in those atmospheres. Not in all of them. We've detected a few of them. So, you know, we can kind of see things here. And this is where it becomes a probability sense, where we talk about probability, because that's what it is. Here, Brock, let me give you some numbers. I think you really need to hear these, and everyone else out there. Because, you know, those of you might just find it interesting, and those of you may not realize just how large a universe we're talking about. Okay, you ready for this? They're in the average size galaxy, which is a little bit larger than our galaxy, to be honest. Our galaxy is kind of just below average. There's, say, right around 400 or so billion stars. And I think ours is somewhere around that, between 2 and 400 billion. Of course, we have to estimate these figures because we can't count every one of them. But these estimates can be made fairly well, fairly accurate. So there's 400 billion stars. That's 400 times 10 to the 9th, for those of you that understand scientific notation. And for those of you that don't, learn about it. It's much easier to write things out. Of those stars, roughly 10% of those stars are like our sun. And I'm just going to go with that, ignoring the fact that planets can exist around other stars that aren't like our sun. Excuse me. Oh, I don't like colds. Okay. I'm not going to restart this video. Sorry. You're just going to have to deal with all my Shrek grossness. Of those stars, there's about 10% of them that are sun-like. Of those, we're starting to get a figure of about 10% of those sun-like stars have planets. We've found 422 extrasolar planets, and yes, I'm using notes because I wanted to check these things. And some of these are from Wicca, some of these are from books I have, and some of these are other places on the web. And by the way, Wikipedia actually matches up with the books and the other places on the web, so Wikipedia is a good place to go when you're wanting to look at extrasolar planets and size of galaxies and stuff like that. But either way, I'm digressing. So if you do the math, that's in a galaxy roughly the size of our Milky Way galaxy. There will be about 4 billion star systems containing planets. Okay, 4 billion. Now, many of these star systems are beginning to look like they average out at several planets. You know, like ours does. We have about 9. So let's just say 5 planets per. That's 20 billion planets in our galaxy, or a galaxy like ours alone, Brock. And to everyone else out there. That's a very large number. But let's go back to the 4 billion, because I did the calculations with the 4 billion. In the observable universe, it's estimated there are about 500 billion galaxies. So, let's do the math. 500 billion galaxies, averaging 4 billion planets, stellar systems containing planets in them. That's 2 times 10 to the 21st power of stellar systems in the universe that contain planets. Now, Brock, I remember a video you brought up, and you mentioned amino acids, which was stupid, but either way, it was, the likelihood of an amino acid forming was 10 to the 143rd, I think it was. Of course, I think you were talking about large chain protein, because amino acids form remarkably easily. The chances are about 1 in 1 under many different circumstances, but either way. 2 times 10 to the 21st power. There's been 13 billion years here on in the universe, give or take, 14 billion. And if even 1% of those had the chemical environment to produce organic molecules, and hence start off what abiogenesis is pointing at is likely to, abiogenesis has several different avenues they're looking into, but given those avenues that abiogenesis studies, which is everything from proteinoids to RNA world to forgot the word, but never mind. Aromatic hydrocarbon world, there's all sorts of things out there, but either way, with all that chemistry going on, the chances of life existing comes down to pretty close to 1 to 1, and the chances of life existing in multiple places in the universe again comes down to pretty much a 1 to 1 chance. So no, Brock, it's not a crazy idea to think that extraterrestrial life exists. Indeed, given the numbers and the large numbers involved, and how, as we're studying abiogenesis, we're seeing that these chemical systems that lead to life develop quite easily under numerous circumstances, and we're not even sure which ones actually lead to life. Maybe the one we're missing is the one that gets right there in a matter of years when it comes to real world scenarios. We don't know for certain yet, and we don't mind saying we don't know. It keeps us looking. Of course, people like you that think they do know don't look, and hence you think primates are cats and Richard Dawkins invented the flying spaghetti monster. But again, I'm digressing. So, if you see a tendency for something to occur over and over and over again, then you can assume that you'll see it again and again and again. You don't have to have faith regarding these things. The possibility of extraterrestrial organisms in the universe, Brock, I'd say is about 100%. I can't say it's 100% for sure, but I can say, given the numbers, it has to be very close to 100% possibility or probability. And I think that's what most atheists would say, that they can't be sure. They wouldn't say it was 100% certain, but they'd say the probability for extraterrestrial life is great, is very high. But of course, I don't know if you'd really understand the concept of probability. Oh well. I'm going to call that one quits. That was a little bit more fun. And move on, I think, to having lunch with my girlfriend. Take care, guys.